Welcome to a special episode of the pod. Today, I am not just joined by Hamilton, I am also joined by two people who are eager to talk about the blockbuster trade,
Oh
including
my
the
god.
man himself profiting. I've got my boy Garrett here, and I've got Freddy. How is Garrett? Well, first off, how are you feeling?
Profiting is one way to describe it. I feel like I have gotten away with murder.
Oh no.
Several and a bank robbery all at the same day. I don't. Do we have the clip? Like, I don't know how easy of a clip we have for it, but
Yeah, no, I can pull the clip up right here. So
Please,
we'll
please.
try and play it. Hopefully, audio is good for everyone. But
yeah,
basically,
we'll just try.
this right here is the exact moment that the entire
Oh, man.
projections for the league changed.
This took the league and turned it on
Garrett.
its head and did a full 360.
Yes. So I'm gonna run the clip right now.
Hey, Garrett.
Yo,
I may take you up on your offer.
you okay?
Oh,
Wow,
Depressed.
To
You
trade
let me
for
know.
each.
You let me know.
that's the one you want to
Daisy.
take.
You want to
Offer
take
on the table.
Daisy?
I will propose. I am officially proposing the captain trade to Garrett.
Okay, done.
And just like
Oh.
that,
That's
and
it.
there it is. The
Think about
day the
30
world
seconds.
changed forever.
the biggest trade
That was
asset in the entire league swapped
What's
for the
crazy?
lowest.
Literally the worst.
Well,
What blows me away is that he went from I may take you off on that, and then like 1, 2, 3, I officially propose. That was so fast.
yeah, thought about it for all of 2
30
seconds.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let's get into results because this is just going to continue to come back up over and over again as we try and process this. So that is after Garrett's team put up another. I'd say Garrett. I'd say this was probably one of your better results. I
I
mean,
think it was our best week so far in terms of just raw gameplay.
yeah, but definitely not anything that could have inspired
Absolutely
whatever the heck Eric
Daisy,
saw.
as for the last 5 weeks in a row, was the worst performing player on the team. It's not close.
Continue to be carried by Dry Bones. I believe that we don't have a timer for overtime, but this certainly was the longest overtime of the year.
I think it was what, 3.5 minutes or something like that. It was crazy.
It felt like 15. I don't know, but classic games. I'm pretty sure both teams won on their home map, which makes sense because your
Quite
team.
the opposite.
Oh, actually,
Danny beat me at the dump, and I beat him at the sand tomb.
well, screw me then.
It was weird. It was a weird series.
Yeah, and then Danny took that little bit of momentum into his second series. He played against Eric, and I can't help but imagine that this is probably why Eric decided to make that choice. Let's go ahead. Let's just dig through the VOD footage a little bit just so we can have some memory. But I think that Eric is starting to get really frustrated at this point just with how much his team ties. Could he avoid that by making better changes for his sidekicks? Yes. His answer seems to be to get a worse captain. So he will tie less now. Garrett, I think you can probably vouch for that.
Yeah, he'll certainly. I mean, I think purely due to sidekicks alone is why I haven't been losing. I think I've played 6 matches. I'm 3-3. Oh, 3-3, I might add. No, still looking for that first win. But I know, right? Can we confirm that? Am I 3 losses, 3 ties? I think my last 3 I've tied.
I believe so.
No.
4 ties. We played 7 games. I've got 4 ties and 3 losses.
Yeah.
Still looking for that first win, but all that considered, I'd say that the only reason I've tied is because of the sidekick scoring goals. It ain't nothing my captain's doing. That's pure sidekick power. So he will tie less. I willing to guarantee it.
And
one way or the other.
Maybe that's what he wanted at the end of the day. Speaking of a team that was winless coming into this week, Frederick Getty, you picked up your first win. You broke your streak of tying. Did you watch this game?
I did. I was unable to watch it live. But once I saw the results and I saw that I had won, I was like, oh my gosh. Where's the VOD? I need the VOD like desperately. So literally the second it was posted, I went back and watched it. And All right, I will admit, let me just stick up for myself here. I know it was triple dry bones versus triple dry bones from both sides, but I didn't. But I did it because of two things. One, it seemed like the matchup that at least I know you didn't. You jokingly wanted Austin, but I gave it. I said I did anyway. But also, I looked at it from the perspective of Ham's captain Donkey Kong is an offensive powerhouse. Like his his um his skill shot is insane. The wham slam is really good, an offensive move there, but also his super strike is pretty good too. So I looked at it more of doing triple dry bones with my as defensive stalwarts with my defensive captain Waluigi as sort of counteract the offense that Ham seems to put out on a week to week basis. So that was my thinking why I did it.
Well, boy, let me tell you about a defensive captain that someone has now.
No, dude. Bowser's offense. He has no defensive capabilities.
True.
Just-
I will say that
Well,
goal
that was
that got me up 2-1 in that game, I screamed at because I was just like, oh no!
Yeah,
amazing.
that was the only highlight of this entire series. That was the only cool thing that happened.
But
Um,
yeah,
Before the series started, or early on, Hamilton said that Waluigi was a better captain than DK, which I thought was absolutely atrocious. Hamilton, what did you make of this after coming off the highs of highs against taking down Colin for the very first time to this pretty middling result?
great, yeah, great feat, great insight.
Good. Good, good.
I think we may have lost Ham.
I am
Oh
noticing that
no!
he hasn't said yet.
Oh wait, oh he switched to his Xbox.
My headphones apparently died. So
Good, great.
That'll do it.
my apologies.
Did you hear anything that was said?
No, but I know that we're
Oh,
talking about Freddy beating me, and well, I'm rightfully so thrilled about that event happening.
Well, I just
Oh.
asked you your opinion on everything that happened.
Uh,
Right. As we realized that you weren't here. So, if you want
Yeah.
to, if you want to give your opinion, you did make the call out that I strongly disagreed with, that Waluigi was a better captain than DK. Which I mean, kind of shows here. Do we think that we are going to see more triple dry bones matchups later on in the season?
I'm gonna say no,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna say that because I think that there's gonna be fewer Triple Dry Bones teams next week. Um, but I think that Dry Bones is definitely a character that most teams, I won't say all, because I mean, obviously Eric has a plan with the Daisy Triple Shy Guy. But I do think that there is going to be more teams with more Dry Bones. I just don't know that everyone's going to fully commit to the Triple Dry Bones.
But like, is this necessarily bad data for you? Because you just lost to another team that played triple dry bones, but last week you beat the best team in the league. So like,
I don't think it's I don't think it's enough of a situation to be like I'm selling the ship on the Triple Dry Bones. It's more that I want to experiment with something else
mm-hmm.
because there's no point in my mind of not playing with lineups before playoffs actually start, especially if you don't deviate too far.
Mm-hmm.
Because next week is week 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you deviate week 6, you can come back week 7 or 8 without missing too much in my mind.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and it'll be interesting. You are obviously playing your cards pretty heavily that you will not be running triple dry bones.
Whoa.
Freddy, do you care to leak your strat, or do you want to keep your cards close to the vest?
I'm I'm not 100% sold on triple dry bones yet. I understand the benefits it has for someone like me on the map that I now consider my home front total home field in the wasteland. It's worked wonders for me since I've decided to select that map. I'm sort of looking at it where depending on who I face depends on those changes I make. Maybe I implore triple dry bones again. Maybe I make a subtle change here just to sort of get more offense on the field. But I'm not 100% set on triple dry bones, but we'll see depending on matchups and how I feel. Which I'm sure that goes for everyone. But while it did give me the win this week, which I'm very happy about, I need to evaluate it moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I think the weird thing is that you guys played triple dry bones against each other. So I don't think either of you got perfect information from that.
Yeah.
But either way, it was by far the worst game of strikers that we've ever seen. The ball never had any charge. Pretty much all the goals were just teleport goals. It was just
Hey,
ass.
look at that.
So I hope that we never see that again, but I wouldn't be surprised. Next game was Jacob versus Shell. I don't remember too much about this one. I do know that I was rooting pretty hard for Jacob just because I wanted to see him be the challenge to Colin. And he was the only person coming into this week that's on pace to catch Colin. Pending results after this week, that has changed a little bit. But the one thing I do remember from this series is Monty went absolutely crazy.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he did.
Coming into this week, Monty was perfectly balanced in every statistic. He had a 500 win percentage. He had a 500 goals per game. And he really started to tilt all those statistics in his favor. And I think it's going to be interesting when we do our sidekick tier list later, because I do think Monty's stocks are going up for the first time in a very long time.
No, he certainly did work for me in my game.
Will you be keeping your Monty?
I am making no changes to anything because now I'm starting from 0 again.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
So the sidekicks played well for Daisy. Will they play better with someone who can actually shoot instead of someone who lobs 3-mile-an-hour shots from half court? Yeah, we'll find out. If Monty can hold up the backcourt, Drybones does his teleport little shenanigans, and Hammerbro just decides to ice Top Ched from half court and Bowser gets involved, I don't know what's going to happen to this league.
Yeah,
Should we also
go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, should we also mention the fact that the one characters whose stocks have completely gone to the toilet? I know we released it in a video.
There's no more Koopa.
This week is rest in peace to Koopa.
Yeah, as you can see, this is the first time Shell had played with a Koopaless team. Since week 1, he was the proud owner of the only Koopa. But rest in peace, Koopa. He made it from 2025 to 2025. The only other interesting thing about this game is I believe it was in game 2 here. We saw the closest that we have come to a 0-second goal. I'm
Yeah,
going to pan forward a little bit, but this was absolute scenes. This is the wrong game.
still absolute scenes.
Still absolute scenes. But we saw the closest that we'll probably ever get to a 0-second goal. I'm pretty sure it was at like literally 0.1 seconds. But Jacob grabbed the win, looked poised to move up in the table, but then immediately got brought down to earth against Grant. And honestly, I'm not shocked that Grant won this series, but I am shocked that it wasn't even close.
Yeah, because Yoshi
Interesting.
has been Jacob with Yoshi has put up a ton of goals over these weeks, so it was shocking.
Yeah, and this one is a big indicator for our tier list that we'll make later on for the teams. Just because like a big question coming into this week was Jacob's team S tier, and he has now lost to both of the other two S tier teams.
Mhm.
Next game we had Adam versus David. We had Triple Hammer Bros versus Triple Toads. I made a punt that this would actually go heavy in the favor of the Triple Hammer Bro team, and I could not have been more wrong. I'm officially dead, never predicting Adam's team to win again, and I'm predicting them to lose every single week.
I
Wait,
mean, that only seems fair.
what about the matchups versus Eric?
I'm
With
still
Daisy.
predicting the shy guys to beat the Hammer Bros. They're just so bad in defense. I don't know what happened against Garrett's team that one week. I feel less bad about it now. But
Look, everything had a reason.
every other week they have looked awful. They play zero defense and their offense isn't even really that good. That's the second Hammer Bros skill shot ever right there on film. But David's first win, big result for him, big result for Freddy. And then the last two games, I have lost my mortgage on the dump. I can no longer claim the dump my home. We have lost twice on the dump in the past 2 weeks, and I have one on my other map. So I'm officially moving away. Congratulations, David, on your new home of the dump. But I don't know about you guys, but PD actually has been making me pretty happy recently. He's turned into a bit of a Mega Strike fiend. I'm pretty sure if you ignore the first 2 weeks, then he absolutely leads the league in Mega Strike goals per game, which is pretty crazy because he scored 0 in 2 weeks and 1 in week 3. But you know, the boys are looking a little bit dangerous, so I'm stoked about that. And this David team continues to be way less ass than they seem. I mean, they stole game 2 against me, but that's all right. I'm not bitter about it.
I was gonna say, I'm sensing a little bit of
There's just a tiny bit.
definitely not bitter in that.
We literally
slight
destroyed
twinge.
them outside of 30 seconds where they scored 3 goals, and the rest of the series we outscored them by like 7. But you know,
No, you're right. Just when you're right, you're right.
yeah. And then last game of the week, I tied Colin. Big result for me. Bad result for Colin. Hamilton, how are you feeling about your Colin Pred right now?
All I'm saying is both of them look really good right now. Colin's got to lose or draw 2 games against Freddy and Danny, some top tier opponents. I'm sorry, Freddy, you're in the stream, but I'm not actually going to call you a top tier opponent. But I have faith in a draw to happen at least in both of those games, if not a full game stolen. And frankly, Garrett getting to 8 points looks free.
I'll say, well, what's our line on that right now? I'll say, how far into the minuses did we just get? Basically saying, will Garrett win 1 game during the remainder of the season?
Will he go on a run? Hamilton with literally like godlike predictive powers.
He knew that the trade was going to happen.
All right. Well, let's get into the real meat and potatoes. Let's get into this tier list. This is what we landed on last week, which was pretty balanced, I think. I kind of think we got to start from scratch here just because I'm now confused at who's where, and you know, Bowser's all the way up there when he's technically in last place. So first off, go ahead, Ham.
I would like to clarify, are we doing captain rating or team rating?
Team rating. Okay. And so for team rating, we consider results, we consider prospects of the future, and we consider the eye test of how they look on the field. Okay. So first off, give me someone who you think is going in S.
Look, it's just got to be this Bowser Jr. team, right? Like,
yeah. I think definitely Bowser Jr.
I don't think that there's even much debate on that.
Yeah.
They are sitting top of the league in goal difference right now, and looking really, really good. I do think that you also still have to put Wario up there. Does anyone have an opinion on who is actually at the top right now?
Looking at live form, there's a part of me that wants to put Wario, also knowing the future, wants to put Wario in A tier.
You want to put Wario in A tier?
In A.
You know, after such a bad loss, I mean, is this a one-time thing or the start of something crazy? Like, I don't disagree with putting them in A tier. I think we only have one S tier team after this week.
I'd like to clarify that he lost to me and then he drew this week against Austin. Like, it's not like he is actually. Okay, I was gonna say it's not like he's actually lost, but
and he actually looked really good in the series against me. Like, Wario looked really dangerous. We just snuck out game 2. He had some really bad luck with shells, but we'll leave him in A for now. What do we think of Yoshi?
I think he's gotta sit in there.
He's a firm A team.
You know, I do not think. I think if we put Yoshi in A, then Wario has to go to S because Yoshi has directly lost to both of those 2 teams.
That's valid.
And they're way above him on the table.
Prospects. I truly think that Yoshi's prospects are higher than their record gives them credit for.
Okay. I mean, if Jacob would start predicting higher goals on Yoshi's Mega Strikes, I think that Yoshi would be in S tier. So I'm content to leave him in A tier because I think he beats him if Jacob literally just says 4. Instead he says 2.
I'm going to go ahead and throw a bunch of people into B tier. We've got this whole squad of people all basically locked up on points. We have from 4th to 8th, or is that 4th to 7th?
I'm
4th
in
to
7th.
4th to 7th is all pretty much interlocked. Freddy is 1 game back with 1 game in hand, which he
Yeah.
has 1 win, so he could get 2, but the likely thing is that he'll end up sliding in with another tie and being locked in. Does anyone think that any of these teams look better than the others?
I think that Waluigi needs to be in front of Donkey Kong.
do we do we do
Is
we
the
put
goal.
do we put
I don't
Princess and the
think
Toads at the top? Do we finally stop sleeping on this team?
I want to leave them in B this week. I need to see a little bit more.
Oh no, they're not going into A.
The question,
They don't deserve that.
but the question is ranking the B tier teams.
Yeah.
Um,
Between these.
I think that your comment about Petey being an incredibly efficient player, and then you also just tied Colin. You also tied David.
Yep.
So
And I
I
believe I
would
tied Freddy at some point.
yeah, you tied me, but we lost the VOD on that.
Mm-hmm.
think we played. Did we play each other yet? Also?
No, we play each other first game of week 6. So that'll be
Oh boy.
a big
That's
game
a
for
telling
determining
game.
determining
is
this
a-
tier.
That's a real telling game.
I'm thinking the order of this is gonna go Petey, Luigi, Waluigi, Donkey Kong.
I'm going to put Luigi at the very front because I'm tired of sleeping on him. We have thrown so much slander his way. I want to start to overpredict his power, honestly. Bump him up there. But I think for once maybe this will finally nerf David. I actually low key think that he has found the optimal map. I think the dump is crazy for the Toads because no one else can pass on that map except them. Like it looked brutal. So I'm gonna put him top of B, and then we'll see after this week's results. Um, okay, elephant in the room. What are we doing with
We're
Garrett?
doing Bowser.
Yeah.
All right, here's what my thinking on Bowser and Daisy. I think because the trade happened and both teams are technically starting from scratch, they have to go and see because we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Eric and a triple shy guy may work out with Daisy. We don't know. That's the thing. Or whatever Garrett does with Bowser.
I
We
appreciate
don't
your
know. So
optimism, man. He
I
has
think we
fucked
have to
himself.
just put them in the neutral spot of C just for now. We can't put them in D because that's awful. And we don't know if they're awful or good or not. So I think C is where they have to go for right now.
I do not
I
be in the
hear your
same.
point about them being unknowns. However, we have watched 7 games from each of them, minimum, I'm pretty sure.
But that's with those captains. The captains have just now swapped, so we don't know how
Yeah, but
those sidekicks will work with those captains.
I'm gonna say that dropping Bowser from 3 bad sidekicks when he was in B last week to C this week when he doesn't have bad sidekicks is a mistake.
I
I'm,
personally would want to put Bowser at the very end of B.
I think that that's fair given the obviously the pre-good sidekicks match.
I don't think he could literally go an ounce higher. I think if you wanted to put him in C, that would also
Yeah,
be fine.
definitely.
But I
Yeah,
think
I
when
said
we start
C,
to
low
put
B.
other
We're B
people in
minus C
C,
plus. I think that's
then
just
we're gonna like think that Bowser doesn't belong. But Hamilton, where after that little speech, where would you put him?
I'm very afraid of this team, and I am thinking that he is going to finish in the end of playoffs being in the top of 4 finishers. I don't know if he'll make the top. That's assuming that he makes playoffs, because he's got a decent hill to climb and a massive goal differential to make it harder. But I think that if he makes playoffs, he could go on a run. I know. A second time I've said that Garrett could go on a run.
Yeah, slightly different vibes this time.
These
Slightly
are
different
I would
vibes.
wager that we're in a slightly
But
different world right now.
I would put him in A right now, and I will
No.
concede to
No.
B, but I'm going to state that I said that Garrett's going to go on a run and finish with more than 8 points. I mean, he's going to get a win and at least a tie.
It would be
In the
one
remaining
tie,
3
one
games?
win, and then 2 losses would be what it is. It
Or 4
requires.
games.
I have 4 games left. It would require 4 ties at the bare minimum. If I lose outright any of them, I need to get a win. I'm all but locked up if I get 1 win, I think is what
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
the whole point of why that take sucked is because it was very lukewarm. Because 8 points would still probably not make him in playoffs. 8 points very likely would still have him in last place. So I'm not
Yeah.
doubting that. Well, I think you can't put Bowser in A when his team is currently in last place. Like you're just
Dead
completely
last for
ignoring results.
miles.
And I know Daisy sucked, but like it's still the same team that is in last place. So he can't go into A. There he's at minus 16 goal differential. I agree that he is a top 4 team, but he is currently in 12th place.
Yeah.
Lot of ground to make up.
All right. Well, let's go into the boys we have hanging out down here in D. I think that I'm going to go ahead and slide these Diddy goes at the very end. I think that, there's a chance that he might be better than the Daisy team, but the Daisy team currently is in playoff contention and Diddy is not. So,
That's unbelievable to me.
yeah.
To hear Daisy and playoffs in the same. Unbelievable. What a world.
NTNJV and spread triple option are tied on points. Danny has a game in hand. I think they probably both go in C. Does anyone have a take on whether they want to separate these teams and put one above the other?
Do you think the Peach team is better? It's just better coached, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, this was the first week Shell was I don't know if he's was unable to or he didn't want to or not, I don't know, but this is the first week Shell has made a change to his roster. Unless he I don't know what what was going on. I'll state that first, but this is Danny's team is is probably well coached considering he made his team specifically for a map.
For vibes alone.
Yeah, also for the vibes.
He did also lose to the Daisy team on that map, but
He did.
I hear what you're saying. I think Danny is cooking up some stuff, and by week 8, I think he will be in the best form possible. I think that Shell probably still has a lot of iterating to do, and like you said, this is the only change that he's made. So looking at this, I think the only thing that's egregious is not having Colin and S. But
yeah, I don't. He's S minus A plus where I'm at right now is where I currently stand with him.
Yeah, he is on a downward slope.
I still think that he's a top 2 team, but he's definitely 2, and he very well could fall given the results of next week.
Last week, so let's go through Grant's results. So he did beat Jacob. That's huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Colin also beat Jacob. He tied Freddy. He beat Eric.
Colin's about to tie Freddy.
What'd you say?
Colin's about to tie Freddy next week.
Which means that he should be in the same tier. This shit makes no sense. They tied each other. They both beat Jacob. Colin still, after all this talk about his form, Colin still has more points. It doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
But
see in the future.
Okay. Are you guys all in agreement that he's in A?
Yeah.
Can I bring Yoshi down to B?
If
See,
that is
then
our
we got
two
too many
options, I'd
cooks in
rather
the B
put
kitchen.
Wario up.
What'd you say?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Okay.
Freddy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, then we have like a situation a couple weeks ago where we had so many teams in D. We can't I know there's a lot of middle of the road teams, but like, are all of these teams really B?
Truthfully speaking, I truly believe that Wario should make its way to S, Yoshi should be A as the sole A.
Hamilton and Freddy?
Concede and move Wario up.
So I am down to either do this or that.
This one feels much more correct.
That one
I need to document that Wario's not getting a win.
Because literally, like, losses are so rare in this league, and Yoshi lost to both of those two teams.
Yeah.
It does.
But that
It
doesn't
doesn't
mean.
make sense.
But also, Yoshi hasn't lost to any of the other teams. It's just been those two.
Yeah, but he has fewer
So
points. But I guess he still has
yeah,
a game in hand. I don't know, man. Fuck it. Okay,
he
sorry,
could.
Colin.
The goal
Go
difference is
down. Go down.
Get
Go
out
down.
of here,
Go
Colin.
down. Because we
Let's
have.
go.
So it's interesting the way this works. So we have one unbeaten team that also wins. We have two winning teams that lose, and then we have three teams that are unbeaten but just tie all the time.
We are in a
And then
I
these
have a
weird.
ones
win.
are wild cards. These teams tie and lose. These teams will probably lose.
Watch Eric with the Triple Shy Guys and Daisies run the league.
How do we feel about this?
No.
No,
No.
he's still in playoffs.
I
He
don't.
is.
He is
He's-
okay. For the same reason that Bowser is not A, I don't disagree with this.
Yeah. He is in playoff contention. He may have made the trade that may doom his season, but
May.
we haven't seen it yet. I'm saying it as like a person who's looking in. It's a new start, just like you're in a
Right.
new start with Bowser. That's where I'm coming from it.
What do we
Oh,
think the
why-
odds are that he ties 4 games?
Freddy?
No, Daisy.
No, I can't do that anymore.
No,
Oh, not Freddy. Why did I say
Daisy.
that? I meant
Low.
Low.
the odds that he
Wait,
doesn't
Eric?
lose. I mean,
So-
I cannot
for
say he
reference,
was.
Eric has to go against Jaco. This is his schedule in order. Jaco, Adam, Ham, and David.
Okay.
Those are
No.
his next
So,
four.
Okay.
Adam is Hammer Bros.
Yeah, Adam's Hammer Bros.
Last time the Hammer Bros went against this Daisy team,
he's
was
going
the
down.
most abysmal loss that we have
He's going
suffered
down.
yet.
All right, lock it in. This is the week 5 tier list. I actually, if I look at everything but Wario, I feel good about this. Which the interesting thing is, I do think that this is probably where the playoff cutoff will end up being. But the question will be, can Bowser dig himself out of the hole that Daisy dug?
It takes one win.
But that's the thing. That's the reason why I'm still, just for me. I know you guys are pretty much all in agreement on me. That's why I'm still hesitant to put him up there because of that hole and put him at the top of C. But that's just
We haven't discussed it, but there's a very do we discuss the games this week and predictions at some point today?
Yep, that's how we cap it off.
Perfect. Well, I'll wait to bring up my opinion until then.
Real quick, we're gonna roll into sidekick tier list. This is what we ended on last week. I do think there are a couple changes that I want to make.
Oh my God, Birdo is B.
Dude, Birdo, from a statistical standpoint, it's because she doesn't have statistical significant numbers. But from a statistical standpoint, she has been putting it down. Up until this week, she had a better combined goals per game and win percentage than Drybones. This week,
Goodness,
Drybones did pass her, but up until then, she was literally the best statistical sidekick in the league. I want to do something here. I actually, last week, I made a big shout for Hammer Bro, but I kind of want to put him down here. Hammer Bro is interesting because he has a high goals per game. He looks good on the eye test, but his win percentage is horrendous. And part of that is carried by Adam, but also too, even if you take Adam, he's still like -6 or something, like in game plus minus. And like, I don't know how long we can just ignore that because he scores goals.
He does in fact score goals though.
Gentlemen, real quick, I need to go. My aunt has a bird in her house. I need to go help.
By all means, that's
Okay.
I will. If you guys
that
are still
reasoning wasn't
here-
real.
Well, it's just sorry. I have to go help her with this.
Get out
I
of
will
here.
be back.
Go
I'll
I'll be back. Bye.
Go get the bird.
Look at the bird. No,
I also
I believe it.
I want to move Monty up to B at
I
least.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Monty needs to go up. Yeah.
I still go ahead, him.
I'd like to switch Toad and Koopa. So who's there? Or is that Hammer Bro? I'd like to switch Toad and Hammer Bro.
I'm
Go
totally cool with
Yippee
that.
guy.
Dude, the fact that the triple Toad team is getting this much success actually is unreal. And especially when you compare that to the triple Hammer Bro team, he should be down there. based off how he does in every other circumstance. I think Hammer Bro is just like a role player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, he very much exists to shoot from 3, and he's your average Steph Curry without the Curry.
And then I think the only other thing that I really would touch here is the same argument I brought up last week, where it doesn't really make any sense to have Toad higher than Boo. They're pretty much the exact same in every statistic. But
I'll concede that argument this week.
okay.
Boo had a better week this week on anecdotal evidence alone. And therefore I'm more willing to concede that one this week.
I think the further we get away from the triple Boo, the better you're gonna be. The better you're gonna feel about Boo.
Absolutely. But the triple Boo was very bad and has left a very bad taste in my mouth.
The crazy thing about the triple Boo is it wasn't even like it did better than the triple Toad, but it's just because
Yeah.
of because of Captain. But it was just because of the lost potential. Any other changes that someone wants to make?
I think these are all fair.
Colin put a message out that he was dropping Birdo.
Mhm.
You did.
I am tempted with that information to move Birdo down on the tier list. Because first of all, I don't know who still has her.
Unless someone picks her up, she'll be gone.
Interesting.
So
I think it is a mistake to have a character no one is starting in B as the second highest captain. Not captain, sidekick, sorry.
I don't know, man. Like
I like Birdo's in a similar way that like
How-
we'll feel better about Boo. I think we need to feel worse about Birdo now.
I hear the argument of her stats.
We saw what Birdo did on a bad team when I played her.
I also will state that she's at what? 11 games played?
No, I think that's her wins.
That's her goals. My bad. Is it 16 or 17 games played? I don't know if my sheet's updated this one. If you have it. If you don't have
I gotta
it, that's
pull.
fine.
I gotta pull it up on another window. Give me a second, because if I pull that up, it's gonna mess this up. Let me see. It's.
I'm back.
I hear
Yeah,
what
I'm
you're
good.
saying, but like also I don't really understand like how and why she should be punished. But I I where do you think she should be then?
I think I would just drop her into C.
I think that if we are moving her lower, I think that that is a fair spot.
Is Birdo fully out this week? Is that what Colin
Yes.
said?
That
Yeah.
is exactly what we're saying.
If we
Okay.
do that, then I would want to do this. Because
I'm okay with that.
I do not think that Monty stands alone above everyone else but Dry Bones.
That's fair.
I strongly disagree with that. And then I think that Boo should be close to Toad. So I'd do that.
I think you could go one step further.
Like that.
You would put Boo in B, huh?
I'm okay with this. I'm very okay with this. I will also get talked out of this if someone strongly feels that this is not right.
What has Boo's usage been the last 2 weeks?
I hate.
Not terrible. He's
Like
on a couple teams.
Yeah, no, Boo is actually number 3.
But I mean, is it like? Sorry.
Boo's number 3 in games played.
Okay. But is that in terms of like multiple games or multiple usages, like 2 on 1?
Every
team or
statistic is in terms of usages. So if there's multiple Boos on the field, it gets multiplied by 2 or 3.
Okay.
Interesting. So let me break down Toad and Boo statistics. They are both at 64 games played, which is beautiful and poetic.
Okay.
Toad will overtake that just because David still exists. Boo has 19 goals. Toad has 16. Toad has 10 skill shot goals or assists. That's actually crazy. That number has snuck up. Boo only has 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Toad has a win percentage of 63% and Boo has a win percentage of 52%. So dang, actually, I'm gonna put Boo back down because they're the same in every statistic except skill shot goal participation, which isn't counted into goals per game. And I think that's worth considering, the fact that Toad is now number 2 in school shot goal participation.
Okay.
I think this is good.
Yeah, I like it.
Because I think the only difference between Toad and Boo is the fact that Toad has a skill shot that he actually uses, and I think it's decent enough. He scores some sweet spots, which look super clean too, which Boo could never.
I will say I feel like Boo has been we were starting to see more Boo skill shots in the last 2 weeks.
I will also agree with that. I haven't I think the first couple weeks
cl-
where we saw Boo, there was nothing going on.
I want to
To
say we
clarify,
are seeing more Boo goals. We are not seeing more Boo skill shots. We have still only seen 2 Boo skill shots, and only one of them has resulted in a goal.
Oh.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And based off what we saw, it has no effect on the goalie. Basically, it's a regular shot, except Boo teleports further. So theoretically, there's a sweet spot where it can teleport straight past the goalie, but they've never
Haven't
done
seen
that.
it yet,
Never once. Versus we see Toad pull his constantly. But Boo is scoring a lot. And if you discount week 1 where Boo didn't score a single goal, it's even more so. But I think this is good for now. Until we see more. I think this balances win percentage and skill shots. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Koopa. I thought about
Yep.
running the video during the pod, but we can just say our
Should we
Let
Should we,
sleeping dogs lie.
should we put Koopa in S just for solidarity?
Absolutely not.
I know.
No, wow. For a moment, it looks
Just for
good though.
solidarity. We'll fix it later.
Do you think
No,
we'll
I
ever
think
see
it was-
another Koopa again?
I think here's my guess. I think someone will get desperate enough where they'll try anything just to make playoffs, like last seed. So I'm not ruling out a Koopa return. It just depends on who.
Do you think anyone will pick up Birdo?
I will not be, so.
Yeah.
Birdo, I see a higher chance of someone picking up over Koopa, though.
I have a funny feeling Dan may add a second Birdo just to try it once. I don't know why, but I know he has also run Birdo in the past, and he seems like someone who would pick up an extra Birdo just to see what happens.
Yeah, he had
Especially if
he
he's
had a
playing
Birdo
against,
week 1, but hasn't since. So I do think that Danny probably needs to make one change. But either way, let's get into predictions. We can look at this all day. So just to recap, last week I had my best prediction week ever. I got 4 for 8.
Brag,
Hamilton got his worst prediction ever. He went 2 for 8. Which, despite the fact of him outperforming me every week, now brings us to a tie. Which is pretty
Convenient
funny
for the league.
Yep. So we are now both under 500. But there's a 1 in 3 chance of any result. So that's not that bad. But let's go ahead and take a look at week 6. I'm gonna
Gary, this first prediction is only you and me.
let's see. So we're gonna add in everyone here. So I think it's only fair to have Garrett and Freddy take this one in terms of the setting up the matchup, just because everyone else has a dog in the fight.
Oh, I'd love to have a prediction.
All right, well then Austin's gonna clearly vote for himself. Ham's gonna vote for himself. So you might as well just put those
I'm
in.
going for a record in terms of accuracy this week. So don't assume anything.
Well, I would just
Gotta keep-
naturally. It's your own teams. I would hope you guys would want you to win.
Want to know. I know the future, Freddy.
That is true. You did predict
Whether
Gary
it is a good or bad future, he can't access it, but damn, does he know?
Garrett, what's your pred?
Okay, going down the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Austin versus Ham. I gotta give this one to PD. He's been doing too good. I truly believe this will be a PD match. I think he takes both games. Sorry.
What do you think goal
Grant-
difference is going to be?
Goal differential. I'll give you a +3 today.
All right, Fred, what's your pred?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go tie, just because, Austin, I feel like you will definitely win. It'll be. I think you'll definitely get more. So I would go tie, but plus I'm gonna go just +1, just because I feel like Austin will you'll end up getting more goals through probably like a super strike from PD, since since his hit rate has been going up and up, it seems. So I'm giving a +1 tie to you, Austin.
True. Ham, what you got?
Tie +3, your favor.
I think I have not talked to Hamilton about this, but me reading between his lines, I think there's a strong chance that we end up running the same team out there. And our captains are pretty much the same, so I'm going tie 0. Next game, Grant versus David. Has David played anyone in the top 4 yet?
He played.
He's yet to play Grant. He's
I have
yet to
Colin?
play Jacob, and he plays Colin in
His
week 8.
Colin, yeah. The answer is
So
no.
this is the first time we've ever seen the Toad team against a very good team. But I have said I'm done sleeping on the Toad team. This feels wrong on every single level. I don't know if my hands can physically type this. I'm gonna go tie. And I'm gonna go +3, but David squeaks it out like he always does. That's what he did against me. Ham, what you got?
Won't be wrong this week. Grant's gonna take it. He's gonna prove why he deserves to be at the top. He's gonna take it from Colin. +3.
Fredman?
Let me think. Come back to me. Hold on.
He's
Garrett?
thinking.
I need to
I don't think this one's gonna particularly be close. I'm not done sleeping on Luigi. I'll take Grant +5.
Oh boy.
I think it'll be an
Hold the
absolute
gold
water
predictions. They
fest.
always hit.
Yeah, which isn't a bad bet considering the fact that Grant leads the league in goals.
Absolutely.
And Princess and the Toads is pretty middle of the pack.
All right, I've got mine.
What you got?
I'm going Grant +2.
All right. Next game, Garrett versus Shell. So if Garrett is gonna make this fabled playoff run, it has to start right now.
This is the person I'd be knocking out of the 8 seed, I might add.
Yeah. So big game here. Garrett, I take it that you're predicting yourself.
I will be protecting myself. I will only be giving myself a +2 goal differential though, because my team has not been proving defense very
I'd
well.
like to clarify that a +2 goal differential is, in fact, the lowest goal differential you can give yourself.
I'm aware.
Okay, just no one in this podcast has ever given themselves less than that on a win, but I wanted to make sure that no one was going to make that mistake this week.
So.
I've done it many times.
Oh, I'm seeing this now.
The impossible scoreline. All right, Freddy, who do you have in
Score
Garrett
down
versus
is
Shell?
fucking right.
I'm gonna be honest. I see a tie.
Okay.
Because I honestly see a tie here because it depends on how Gary adjusts to his new captain. Because he can only make one change. I don't know, Gary. I don't know your plans for overall changes for
He
your
has
team.
stated his plans.
I've stated I'm making no changes, and I fully
Alright,
intend to keep that.
But all right, well, moving forward, I'm curious how the team works synergy wise. So I'm gonna go for a tie. I think you win your home matchup, but I think Shell maybe ekes out his home matchup depending on any changes he makes. But I'm going tie and then just 0. Tie 0.
Ooh.
Tie 0.
Yeah.
Ham.
I'm gonna be bold and say tie
Garrett
0.
+3.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Shell makes any changes. I do think that double Hammer Bro did not look good. And that actually is it's strange. It's strange that that's the first time that happened. And I'm scared that he won't make a change again. So I'm gonna go Garrett. Just a solid +2. I think that's respectable. Shell's team doesn't have a lot of defense. Oh no.
I would also like to point out that Gary's fire from Bowser affects his own team now, so he may end up biting himself in the butt.
Did it not previously?
Or am I thinking wrong?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Depends on what you're thinking.
Am I mixing up Bowser's breathing fire and Wario's fart?
Yes.
Okay, my bad. Forget what I said just now.
Well, I'm pretty
No,
sure that Bowser can burn his own teammates, but I
he
don't
can.
understand how that's changed the fact that he's still been like a top 2 captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We go from the new Bowser team to the old Bowser team. Eric versus Jacob. Oh my god, Jacob is gonna be so pissed if this goes any way other than the way
Other
that
than
it
a
should.
massive win.
Oh my god. I'm
His
going
teammate needs to
Jacob.
be out of practice this
Uh,
week.
and I'm going +4.
I
It's
don't
just
think that's unfair.
it's got to happen. It's got to be right. Eric must pay for what he's done. Ham, what you got?
I'm not gonna like this prediction, but it's the price of seeing the future. Tie
Ooh.
-2.
Wow. What's the reasoning for that?
I think that Eric is gonna sneak out a game, and then Yoshi's gonna destroy him in the other game. I I think that Eric is gonna get some validation in this trade for trading for Daisy in week 1.
Okay. Freddy, what you got?
I'm going Jaco +3.
Garrett?
Yeah, I'm gonna join you, Austin, at a Jacob +4. I can't see it going any other way.
Yeah. We shall see. Daisy certainly has not done anything to prove otherwise.
Yeah.
And
Nah,
Jacob seems to clean up the teams below him pretty well.
the good sidekicks were the only thing giving me ties. I don't see it going either way.
Yeah. This next one actually though, I want to see spread triple option do well. And I think that they're gonna hold Jacob on the pit. I'm gonna go tie +1. Ham, what do you think of this matchup?
Flip on you, and I'm gonna go Jacob +2.
Ready?
Comes back from tie and gets it.
So I'm actually also predicting a tie. I think Danny makes a tweak to his team to get to adjust to the tomb, but I'm going -1.
Ooh, Danny favored.
Yeah.
Garrett?
I think this will be a tie. Jaco's gonna eke out a 4 mega strike this week, and he's just not gonna know what he's doing. I'll give it a +3 in favor of Jacob.
Oh, that's gonna be a painful tie if it's +3.
It's gonna be if we want exactsies, it's gonna be a 3-2 win from Danny, and then it's gonna be what is that a 6-2 in game 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate
Oh.
this Hammer Bro team. I'm gonna be real.
No, I'm with you.
They make me upset to watch. So I'm going Danny +6.
Oh my.
I want to see Danny challenge up the table, and this is that's what he needs to
This
catch
Hammer Bro team is
everyone
not
who
gonna
won
know
last
what to
week,
do.
and this is his chance. So I'm going Danny +6.
Don't hate it.
Ham.
Admire your ambition. However, if there's one thing I've learned from predicting this for 6 weeks, it's that this is gonna end in a tie, and it's gonna be -2.
I need to change mine to minus. Adam loses with minus with the 6 goal differential. Makes sense. Fred, what you got?
I'm going Danny -1 because I feel like Hammer Bros will. I know you hate the
The
Hammer Bro team, but
impossible.
I think they will get some cheeky curling top efforts. But Danny
Freddy,
will
that's
keep it.
impossible.
Riveting conversation.
Wait,
Okay.
what? Why is it impossible?
If you play 2 games and he wins both of them,
You cannot win by 1 goal.
Oh, okay, my bad. Danny -2 then.
Garrett?
In this matchup, I kind of agree with Hamilton. I hate it, but I do agree with it, and I do see a tie here. I'm gonna give it the tie, but I'm gonna give Danny the goal differential by 2 goals.
You can't.
Okay.
That's
Interesting.
-2.
And I will
Mm,
excuse
-2.
I will excuse myself from these.
go get that bird.
Go get
Oh
the
no,
bird.
the bird's been dealt with.
We're hunting a bird.
What does that mean?
It's
I'm
out of the
hunting rabbits.
It flew out the front door on its own
Okay.
before I could even get there.
Shotgun.
All right, Freddy, quick fire your last 2 preds. Quick.
I'm giving myself versus Adam. I'm gonna go. I guess that's minus, so I'll do -2.
And then you versus Colin.
I'm going. I'm going me -2.
Man calls his shots. I mean, to be
Just
fair, if
'cause-
he sticks on triple dry bones, it's a proven recipe of success against Colin.
Not only that, but I mean, we've seen the future.
So I guess I know where I'm going here.
I am really curious how you all.
Whoa.
I'm really curious.
We've seen the future, not that future.
Okay. All right.
And you get.
I think I'm gonna use my predictive power to bring Freddy back down to us. Hamilton, if we're both tying, he can't afford to win.
Plus, there's one thing that happens in SPL. Ties.
What you got?
I've got a tie, Freddy +2.
Garrett?
This matchup, I think I'm giving it to Fred, and I think he's winning by 3.
Okay.
I don't have much of a tie on my mind this week. I'm gonna be honest with you. These matchups seem a lot more one-sided than they really feel.
Yeah. Good luck when you look back at this next week.
Wait,
No.
if Ham's prediction is 2 goals to me, shouldn't it be minus?
You guys
2?
haven't seen me predict yet. You don't know what future powers I have.
It's okay. We don't actually check the score.
Yeah,
goal
we never
differential,
once have
but
looked at our scores. We just look at green and red.
It's nice to hit it every now and then, and just pretend like you knew.
Okay, I do think that this is probably not our match of the week necessarily, because we have Eric and Jacob in the middle of there, but this is a very important game for Freddy. He won a game, is now punching for firm playoff contention, if not that last spot. There's a lot of people contending for the last spot in top 4, so this is huge for Freddy. I was able to squeak out a tie against Colin. Hamilton beat Colin. So all his peers have gotten a big result in this matchup. What do we think that Freddy's going to do here?
One logical thing. The bread and butter. Tie. And I'm going to go +3. An ambitious
Have
tie.
faith in me.
Garrett?
Colin, Freddy, I'm giving it to Colin. I'm giving it to him by 2.
Wow. You're gonna doubt my future ability.
I am.
See, after I gifted you, Bowser, I did it solely.
Yes, you did. That was all you. And Shirley, cut the clip. We'll just cut it right back to Eric.
I don't really know how to justify not picking a tie or Freddy here, because Freddy is running triple dry bones, just beat the other triple
At the
dry bones
wasteland.
team, which beat Hamilton, which beat Colin. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
At home.
Got it. You got it. It's making complete sense.
Yeah. But part of me just wants to go back to this and say that this is not right, and I'm predicting Colin to win. I think that Colin is going to make a change to his team for the better, and I'll go Colin +3.
I hope I prove you all wrong.
I have very little doubts that you won't. We have zero ability to predict. It is really hard. to predict anything in this league.
I nailed it last week.
It is brutal. But I think that pretty much does it. This is the week where Luka Doncic was traded for a pile of dirt.
And we will
Um,
see.
and the whole prospects of the league table have shifted. My panic button now seems redundant. Because part of the reason for having a panic button was the fact that there was zero reason for anyone to ever trade for any captain worse than them. And the person with the best captain has traded for the worst captain. So screw me,
So
because that's a trade economy right there.
that
Uh,
is quite different.
Trade economy.
but I just don't know, man. The whole rest of the season is it's all up in smoke.
Totally up for grabs now.
I mainly just feel bad for the other teams, at the bottom of the
Played once or
table that
twice.
will not be thrown a lifeline like that. But all credits to you, Garrett, for having the trade asset that was Daisy.
Yeah, look, I knew it from day one. I was either gonna have a winner or some damn good trade fodder, and I had neither, and it still worked out.
Yep. 29 goals, lowest in
By
16.
I'll say by far as well. Like it's not like it was particularly close either.
I'm not sure off the top of my head if that's the most conceded. I think I might have you beat by a little bit. Um, but either way, this was the week that happened. Um, there's everything to play for. I'm really excited to be done with week 6 because that means that we will have a full table going into week 7 and 8. Every team will have played the same amount of games. So we'll no longer have, that kind of weighing over like where do they actually stand. We will have standings next week. So
Oh,
stoked for that. Thank you to all three of you for joining and producing this round table episode. And excited for the games coming up. Peace, y'all.
until next time.
Bye.